Hey, everyone. Welcome to the lesson on superpower and intuition. This is amazing and very powerful, but it is. And it's so important for us to understand the gifts that we have inside of us because these gifts are with us every day that we wake up and every day when we go to bed. And part of this course, or a big part of this course, is understanding that we've been looking for all of the things outside of us to make us whole and realizing that we have all these superpowers inside of us that we can access whenever we want. It really is such a seismic shift, and I'm so excited to share this with you today. So I always like to begin with just the values of this course that we always embody. It's a judgment-free zone, always, JFZ, and we always lead with empathy and kindness to ourselves and others. Today, we'll review, as we always do, what's going well, my favorite, do some desired state goal setting, review the big MOFA, and then the lesson on the superpower and intuition. We'll do an experiential exercise around our superpower, and then ahas and appreciation. So let's start with what is going well, shall we? Please write down 3 things that are going well. Now, I should say here, you can pause my video to write these 3 things down, but also know that our workbook in ThriveCart dashboard is meant to be used in conjunction with this lesson. So if you need to pause me, that's fine. Go ahead and find that in your dashboard, make a copy for yourself, and that will be your workbook for this lesson. Once you have your workbook, go ahead and write down 3 things that are going well. Give you just a minute or so here. Okay, moving on. Next, our big motivating factor. So our big motivating factor is we identified lesson 1 way back when. You should have this printed out or on a Post-it note somewhere in your house. This is the big reason why we're doing this work. It could be that you want to find peace in your life. It could be that you want to find freedom. It could be that you want to find meaning. It could be that you want to just have a kick-ass life and you know that you're meant for more. Whatever it is, please revisit it. It's important to always have around us when we're doing this work. And I think always best to have around us because it works like software operating in the background. If we know why we're doing it, we're much more likely to complete and live and embody this work. I want to review where we've been and where we're going. It's super important to do that because we've spent a lot of time in the past and now we're sort of in the present and we're moving towards the future of how we use these tools to show up moving forward. How do we become creators of our life? And if you haven't figured out already, a big part of this program is to learn how to respond to life and not react. To respond to present day events with just the information we're given, not to let them trigger us and have our inner child be running the show. You may remember the power grid. I love the power grid. We have identified all these different people and things and behaviors and beliefs that have taken a power away. Now, we put all those things in place, maybe not the people, but the behaviors and the beliefs in order to keep the dark out. The problem there is that if we don't learn to let these things go that take away our power, we will never let the light in. We will never let our power in. So taking our power back is about getting quiet and learning to be best friends with our intuition. I'm going to talk a lot more about intuition in just a second, but for now, I just want to put a pin in it and just know that our power lies in the gifts inside of us. This work is about setting appropriate boundaries with the things that take our power away, letting go of those things and getting comfortable with not knowing. Believing in ourselves enough that we can approach the future and say, I don't know, but I know that I have these tools and I know that I'm going to be okay. I've survived everything this far and I will survive whatever comes. I won't just survive, I will thrive. This is the period in which we let go of who we know ourselves to be in order to allow for the possibility of who we might become. This kick-ass, badass, superpower version of ourselves that we all know is out there and inside of us. By now, we've learned in order to take our power back, we have to give up on being the victim of other people's unconscious behavior, meaning we cannot have the stories any longer that do not serve us as creators. We have to let go of the story that other people are working to make us the victim. They've got their own journey. It's none of our business. We've got our journey, and that's our business. It's our business to be the creators of our life. It's our business to get out of the drama triangle, to get out of the exhausted, depleted, disappointment, self-sabotaging behavior cycle, and into the creator cycle. It's a much healthier and empowering way to live. Now, please go to your workbooks and we're going to do the superpower exercise. I think it's so badass. And this is discovering your superpower. Okay. So here I'm going to have you take a moment or a situation where you want to show up confidently. How do you feel when you imagine this moment? What are you worried about? This might be a moment at work where you have to talk to your boss. This might be a moment where you have to have a tough conversation with a spouse, an ex, a child. Imagine this moment. What are you worried about? What are the qualities that you'd want to have in that moment, but you don't feel like you currently have? This is the moment of impact. This could be that you'd like confidence. It could be that you want to be calm, unbothered. Whatever it is, write it down in your workbook. Now I'm going to ask you, who is someone you know that has these qualities? This could be a friend, it could be a family member. It could be someone famous, it could be Oprah. So now we're going to do an association exercise. I'm going to have you associate with this person you've imagined who's showing up in the way that you would desire. So to associate, we're going to try them on like a costume. We're going to put our fingers into their finger slots. We're going to put our toes into their toe slots. We're going to breathe through their lungs, and we're going to see through their eyes. Now, please tell me, what is this person believing to be true about themselves? As you look out of their eyes, what does it person believe to be true about themselves? What is this person believing about others? What is this person believing about the world? What does this person feel? Is there something that helps this person feel that way? Now I'm going to have you come back to yourself. You're going to take off the costume of the person you tried on, and you're going to bring with you all the learnings, all the information you just gathered from that person. And this is where I tell you that person is actually part of you. You cannot associate with things in someone else that aren't already part of you. It's impossible. So I'm going to ask you to name this compartmentalized part of yourself that you just brought back. It could be the name of the person you stepped into. It could be a different name, whatever that part of you tells you its name is. And I also often like alliteration. So it could be, lovable lady. It could be, awesome Alicia, whatever it is. This is the name of the part of you that is your superpower self. This is the part of you that can show up during that moment of impact that's difficult. Because this person embodies confidence and has a superpower, this is your part of you that you exist in you. It might be dormant and a little atrophied and not used very often, but it is in you. And we've just named it. Now, with your workbooks, I'm going to ask you that part of you to complete the following sentence starters. When it comes to life, I believe. When it comes to life, I believe. Please finish the sentence. When it comes to life, I feel. When it comes to life, I am. Now let's imagine a time in the near future when you're going to be in the situation where you want to show up this new way. Imagine you showing yourself up as your superpower in this moment of impact. Imagine it in your mind's eye. You might want to close your eyes for this. And just notice, what does it feel like to be in this moment now? What are you believing? What are you feeling? What are you doing? Now this is the fun part. Your superhero gets a move. What's your superhero move? It could be a Super Bowl dance. The man in the getting a touchdown. It could be, a high five. Could be jazz hands. Just add a superhero move here. And that, my friends, is your superpower exercise. It's meant to be silly and meant to be fun, but you will bring this superpower with you moving forward. You can ask this part of yourself to show up when you need it most, and that is a gift. It always is in you. Now let's shift to intuition. How do we hear our intuition? So our intuition is this amazing voice inside of us that's not the bully in our head. It's almost as if people say they can hear it in their gut, right? It's what your gut's saying. In my case, I think my intuition lives in my heart. It's sort of what your heart's saying. Anything from the neck down. Our intuition always will tell us the right answer, always. But in modern day society, in 2022, which is this year, it is not speaking to us that we can hear it because there's too much noise. You may be able to hear the airplanes going by my house, or there's the noise of the chatter in our head, the bully, as I call it, in our head, telling us we are not enough. Well, our intuition is a much softer voice. It is so soft, and we can only hear it when we are quiet. I'm not talking about going on a walk with earphones in, down the street. I'm talking about going on a walk with nothing, no inputs. Or I'm talking about sitting quietly in silence. Only in the quiet can we hear this small voice in our bodies. And the beautiful thing is this small voice always has the answers. I don't have the answers. No one out there actually has the answers. You have the answers. You have a compass inside of you that will always direct you where to go. Your work is to listen to it. Your work is to listen. And that's it for today. Please write down your ahas, your appreciation from today's lesson. And please join us next month for Manifesting Your Kick-Ass Life. We are now going into the future. And now that you know that you have this beautiful superpower and compass inside of you, you have all the tools you need to create the life of your dreams. Thank you as always for being here, and I'll see you soon.